Welcome, welcome, viewing several, to a very special edition of Hands Up, Who Loves a Train Set? Me. Well, it's episode 25, would you believe? When I started doing this, it was just a fun little thing, and I thought I would do a few sets from my collection. But I have managed to find a few nice little sets in the meantime, and the collection's grown a bit. So this one, I bought this recently. It was on for auction, and I thought about it, and I thought, wow, I'm not sure. But then the seller relisted it with a reduced price, and I just sort of thought, well, I've got to buy that. So I think I paid about £22 for it. So I thought, well, it's got to be worth having in the collection for that price. So here we are. It's another DDR made HO scale set by Piko, who are a lovely quality make. I've already reviewed one of these sets in the expert range. This one is, of course, the junior range, which is was a lower cost set, but it's still expandable. When we have a look inside, you'll see that it's got the same track, but the good thing is it's got a smaller radius track, so I should be able to fit it all on this desk, and I won't have to set it up outside. It's also got a very rather crude battery controller, which we'll see, but I think we'll run it with one of the modern controllers. We don't really need to test that, but I may at some point get a couple of those old flat 4.5 volt batteries just to try it for a laugh, and also some of the older Hornby ones. Anyway, let's look at what's inside. Right, let's get the lid off. There we go, and you can see straight away that we've got instructions, which we had with the other set. And what you will see in this is that there are English instructions on this set. So unusually, this one have been sold outside of the Eastern Bloc countries. So I do wonder if this one's a bit later. And then you can see on the back it shows you how to wire up two of those batteries, which I might get a couple of those at some point, because I've got a couple of other older battery controllers and I haven't used these for 50 years, so it might be fun. You can still get them, but yeah, it might be interesting just to check that out. So you can see we've got all these different languages, but importantly there is English. It tells you about expanding the set, and it mentions about expanding the set here, and talks about getting a transformer. So we have the same track, which is the hollow rail with the bit that goes inside the hollow, which is quite nice. It joins up pretty well. I think these carriages are the same ones, more or less, that I've got in the expert set. Although I think maybe they're not. The expert ones maybe had some decals on. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But they're in better condition. They're not. No bits missing. And the loco is this kind of 040 steam, continental style steam locomotive. So yeah, we'll see what it's like. I mean, there's not much really else to say, apart from you get a couple of little straights, one of which is the power thing, and you get this paraphernalia, connect up the batteries, and this is your very basic junior controller, which is I think it might be fun to wire that up at some point. I mean, I could just put 9 volts in there with a power supply, but I'm not sure I can be bothered with that. I might do that as a Brucey bonus, but I think what I'm going to do is just put a modern controller on it to show it running. So there's not a lot really else to say. I mean, it's in nice condition, but it's a very simple set. There's not much to it. I'm hoping this will run as well as the Playcraft 040, which was the Jouf loco, which ran really well. I would expect this to run as pretty well. I haven't tried it yet, so when I set it up, we'll see what it runs like. So let's get it running and see what it's like, shall we? Right, we're on the track. So I'm going to give it a run. Let's just move that back a bit, and off we go. Start off slow, as we always do. Gradually increase the speed. Yeah, that's alright, isn't it? Basically, I've just added a little bit of lubrication. That's it. Just to the bearings on the wheels and those connecting rods. That's pretty much it. So it's quite nice. I mean, to be honest, I don't find these little passenger sets as exciting as goods or the bigger locos, but it's still a nice train set. The track, I think, could benefit from being pinned down because it does move around a little bit, so it's not the smoothest ride. So we're up to full tilt on this Gauge Master controller, and that's running very nicely, isn't it? So I'm going to slow her down to sort of the speed I like to run them, which is, yeah, something like that. And as you can see, yeah, that's alright, mate. I mean, there's not much else to say about this. It's, I don't know exactly where it's from. It's, I would imagine it's a 1970s or possibly 80s set. I haven't been able to find out that much even from Piko's website. I know that when the DDR ended, a former West German company took Piko over, and they became the company that they are today. But I don't actually know, when that was, if it was sort of imminently after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and reunification, or if it could have been a bit later, that they could have carried on like this for a few years. I don't really know, but yeah, it's nice. As I say, I think that's 2 more carriages, the same as I've got in my other set. But that runs, that runs. So I'm just going to let it run round a bit more. Back up to speed. And then we'll gradually slow her back down. That's decent. It's good controllability. That's running fine. I would say it's at least 40 years old. Could be older. Could be 50 years old. Possibly older. I really don't know. It's difficult to say with these things. So that's chuffing along quite nicely. And I'm just going to see now. This point on the controller, it's gone much lower than a lot of locos will go. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Always like to see a crawl. Yeah, it's that's a bit too much now, so I'm going to have to give it a jiggle. There you go. But yeah, I can't really, I wouldn't complain at that speed. I think that's a nice, about there, which is 30% on this controller. Now a lot of the older locos will take more current, and they will start at around 40% on this. So that's pretty good. So there we have it. Another one for the collection. It's a lovely little set. It's in great condition. Don't know whether I'll keep it or not, but I had to buy it to do a video on it. Okay, I hope you like that one. That's episode 25. I don't know how many more there's going to be now. I've got one or two more on order, and I've got I pre-ordered the good set, the TT120 good set, the basic one. So I'll be doing that one. I've got a few Hornby sets, but I don't know if I'll bother to do those because, you know, they're pretty much the same as one another, and you know, they're not that unusual. So we'll see. So I think coming up next, I'm going to focus more on some of my micro layout stuff that I'm working on. But there will still, I mean, this series will continue as long as I keep buying train sets, but I generally on the lookout for ones that are quite unusual and that between £20 and £50 usually. So I'm not really, you know, I've got my eye on a couple, and I'm deciding whether I can justify getting them just for a very low-fi video like this. But yeah, I enjoy it, so that's that one. I hope you can join me again in the next one. I'll see you then.